on that last game. AD carry, I do agree, is the pool that we are most considering to be thinned out. We've got picks like Zeri, Jhin, Xayah, and then you have less staple but common picks like Jinx, Smolder, Aphelios that are all available. But so many of the picks are gone.
Varus.
Varus, yeah, that's true. Has been completely ignored in this series.
I am curious about these bans. Do they remain the same here in Game 5? Because I think especially for the blue team, you might want to say, hey, we're going to leave one of these big bans open. So far, the bans are the same. Different order here on the blue side so far, but...
Yeah, I think we're just going Azir here as well for Bro.
The only kind of strange ban that we had was the Sylas, but then they first picked Maokai on red.
Yeah.
So that was like one thing that it seemed like Bro really wanted to make sure they had. Smolder going to be banned, which
and by
means
Nongshim as well.
Akali is available instead. Compared to the Game 4 draft.
Now, obviously, Yunara is another AD carry that was available for this final game, but as we talked about this whole series, just not going to see her. Gone. Considering leaving something up to trade for 2, they'll take away Shin from Lehen, so what about like Galio Shin, potential Galio Camille? That's now off the cards. I think that's a really wise ban, because that's what I'd be focusing on if I were Nongshim, as a draft like that, probably. Vi gets picked up here, as the jungle pool has also thinned substantially. That's the other role, really, that starts to run out of options, especially when so many engage supports are gone. You want some sort of jungler that can engage, and Vi is going to fit the bill on this one.
Yeah, and in terms of other junglers that are up and like relatively high tier for what's available, you got like Sejuani, Skarner, stuff that Vi should be good into.
Yeah. All right, Morgan just going for the safe Cassante lock here. It will be blind, of course, but one of the safest blind picks in top lane history. Do we grab a jungle now, or one of the remaining high prio mids? Because even Victor was sniped away into the bottom lane, so no longer available. They're just going to take the Jhin for themselves. And I think this is smart, because with an insane frontline like the Cassante and how well Jhin works with Vi compositions, you just don't want them to get their hands on it. As we get to go deep into the echelons of pools here for the counter pick Gnar, which is great into Cassante. It's been a pick as old as Cassante's release date as a counter pick, but and will be the Galio to follow. So it's not going to be Galio Shen, it's not going to be Galio Camille, but it's going to be Galio to follow up on Vi just the same.
Yeah, has a clear identity. You know, I like this a lot better as Cassiopeia comes out. Those are kind of jumps after that. Cassiopeia in the mid lane. Generally only seen it into Rise this season.
Yeah, a pick that does a lot of consistent damage. At relatively low range, obviously the Cassante can help set up the front line for that, and you have the Jhin to follow up, but fairly risky into Vi. Even though you have the Miasma, and the ultimate can be helpful for self-peel. All depends on how those fights break out.
It's definitely a good disengage mid. I guess that's the idea, now that we kind of know the composition identity here on the side of Nongshim.
If they're all going into low range with you, you're like, cool, that's kind of where I want to be. And, you know, one of the other champs that is going to do incredibly well in that low range brawl is Kalista, which they have now removed. Zed taken away from Krako. Not sure if he was really interested in picking that one up in this draft. I think they want something a little bit more CC focused. As the Varus that you called out earlier is gone now, the Kalista's gone. Pool thinning out here for Jiu. Doesn't have his Smolder because they banned it away themselves.
Jinx Lulu is up. Lulu not banned this game.
Yeah.
Could be very good for Nongshim.
Maybe they ban Leona and consider it. I mean, even though Leona's not really even good to that, but it's taking the engage tools away. As Tom Kench is going to be some additional safety for this Jhin that they just don't want to give. Jhin Thresh, not really a thing. Well, I suppose we shouldn't really talk about things that are things or not in Fearless in Game 5.
Yeah.
Everything is a thing. Victor, AD carry with no Shattered Crown, like when we saw it from Ophelia, who was a mid laner playing bottom lane in an emergency sub situation. It didn't work.
What's
for him
he
either.
playing? What's
He's
the
laughing.
smile? What's the smile? Okay, we don't know. It's just Leona.
Okay, so is it just Jinx Lulu then, with the pick setup they have and the great defensive tools they can use to protect her? I would say likely yes.
You don't have a lot of other options. You could play Zeri.
It's almost like Krako couldn't decide what he was going to play there. And WTF, two Zeris!
WTF!
That's not allowed!
Two Zeris!
WTF! Taric!
All right, are we getting a redo on that, or is it actually Taric?
I think two Zeris make more sense.
All right, it must be a Taric. And now we got Silas in the jungle. And this worked wonders in its most recent match. And, you know, they've got a Galio, they've got a Gnar.
Well, the Taric angle is quite interesting in terms of setting up the Zeri for success. It makes a lot of sense, can be used similarly to a Lulu, but obviously isn't going to have the same sort of oomph in lane. We can be good into this Leona, and it's Lens, right? Like, he pulls this one out. I feel like we're going to have it's been 900 plus days on the last one to play. Well, it's Lens, you know?
Yeah.
It's either that or Barrel, right? We know it's one of the two. And then you have otherwise a draft that sets the Zeri up for success. You have an insane front line. I think this is the Nongshim draft, like, of the 5 that I go, yeah, I like it start to finish.
All right, this guy has been all over Sign. Saying he's going to win this time. No 0-3s, no. Just get the win. No avoiding, just winning. And they might just do it. I mean, I feel like the comp on the side end of Bro is also pretty good. I'm just happy that Nongshim actually have a real comp this time. Would have liked it to be a Lulu, personally, but, you know, let's see how this Taric goes before we make any choices on that, as we are ready. Game 5, Silver Scrapes right now.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, Game 5. And just for you guys who might be joining late or you're not sure about the format, the stakes for this one, the winner goes up to the winner bracket, the loser goes down to loser bracket.
Yeah, this is not an elimination match.
Yeah, this is the first day of plans, and it's double elimination in plans. So for any team who wins, if they win a second time in the future of this week, they can move on to playoffs. If you lose here, you only got one more chance.
This is a very forgiving format with the extended year, which makes sense because we have a really long year as well.
LCK support first, 700 games for Lehens.
And what a game to have it on. So catch up with Teddy and total games played.
For a second, I was like, wait, that's not first. But that was amongst all of the players.
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's a Taric game.
Where's the Taric graphic?
Yeah, it's.
Where is it?
I'm sure they're making it. So you think it's Barrel or you think it's Lehens?
I think it's Barrel.
You're like, it's life. I'm like, no.
No. No, I think it was last year, and I think it was Barrel.
You might be onto something.
That's my official prediction. You got the Aphelios?
Yeah, I'm not.
Ophelia one,
Yeah,
correct?
I'm not.
I really wanted to say Aphelios.
Yeah, Aphelios just ignored in this draft as well, but I'm not confident to say one way or the other on this one. I'm just going to have to wait.
Stunned.
Yeah.
Yes, Taric does
How
do
dazzling
that. Yes.
Of Taric to do that. Zeri actually has a really powerful all-in at level 6. I feel like with Taric, it's kind of insane as well into this comp. See if that does end up panning out as Fearless BO5s. Like, we haven't seen this matchup before, maybe ever in the LCK. Don't think we have seen the Jin Leona versus Taric.
Yeah.
Zeri. So, unexplored territory, but we can theory craft, and it's all about hitting those stuns.
Yeah.
And that's half a health bar.
All right, nice little stun down from Palu as he's getting in there. Does a nice number to Jiwoo. And is going to make his life just a little bit harder. You know, if the stun lands, then obviously Hype can't do much, but he's still going to be Jin. He still has the advantage in terms of range and should be taking good trades in this lane.
This has a lot of burst damage in these non-extended trades as well, and did not have to cleanse in that last exchange, whereas Jiwoo did cleanse and still ended up losing out. So definitely a trade up for the side of Bro. Gideon gonna grab this buff as, see, Kroko is heading down towards the bottom side of the map, is on a ward right now. Just the same, they are gonna have to play very carefully if he does commit, and I think he is planning to do so. Tough though, if he gets stunned under turret, like, Lehens needs to choose his stun target carefully. Paulo probably want to go in first.
All right, let's see how this one is going to look. There's the stun onto the Zeri, who is moving. The Dazzle comes out, and now Paulo's in a bit of trouble, but it's still first blood over to the Silas.
Guys,
here comes Gideon. He ran all the way from the top river, and he is here just on time to help secure this kill. Gideon going to pick it up and get right back to farming.
All right, well, luckily for Bro, they were able to kill the AD carry. So if Gio is one of those surviving members there at the end of that fight and is farming right now instead of Lehens, it is a complete fail. Still though, in terms of the gold exchange, trade up for Nongshim. Just 1 kill goes over the Vi, 1 kill goes over the Taric. So not really where you wanted the money, but Gio's going to use this death to grab a cull. As that scared someone in the audience, or maybe the commentators there on the recall.
King also got a call, by the way. Spending a lot of time against the tank.
So this is actually really well handled here by the side of Nongshim as he uses the turret here, then flashes to the other side, maintaining the turret aggro on this Leona, who's the stun target. And I think trying to kill Silas there with no turret aggro is just never going to be the play. So you have to avoid as much CC as possible, redirect there with a flash, and then keep that Leona down, and that's what they did. So execution also good for Bro, but so 1 for 2.
All right, we're just gonna send the Zeri bot actually. Looks like they wanted to go for a swap, but it was obviously called off. The back was canceled by Kingin. And Lens kind of just in no man's land. He's gonna put down some vision.
I kind of like this situation for Bro, because you're putting the Gnar, who's supposed to have the counter matchup, into the Cassante into a 1v2 as Nongshim, and then Zeri is going to really struggle to actually put that same amount of pressure onto this Cassante. You're going to see a potential dive, or gank rather, with the rotation up of Gideon and Lehens, and Hype and Paulo just seem like they are finding out of this way too late. Slow comes in.
Yeah, Meganar almost here. He's not 6, but certainly Paulo in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have flash, so it's just an easy gank onto the Leona. As they're going to try to give this kill over to Gideon, probably. There you go. Gideon takes it down. Meanwhile, the dive down here, but they've got a Galio on their team, and Kroko's in a lot of trouble. Taunt is there, and Gio picks up the kill.
And Gio able to utilize the turret again for the slide. And Hype.
Well, he got ulted.
He wanted to play it that way. No summoners on the gym. Gio is about to hit level 6. Well, I actually thought he was closer. He's not as close as I thought, but either way, is able to survive there. Picks up a big win himself in the bottom lane. So Nongshim winning on both sides of the map here. After what felt like a pretty good setup for Bro, the gank was really well timed here. And honestly, like with the wave already deleted here, Paulo and Hype should not have stayed this long, I think, and end up just getting completely caught off guard. And with the enemy jungler here, you want to make a cross map, but Galio, you know, Galio can actually show up at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Look at how Gio plays this again through the turret. Extendo beam first, and then with the knock-up from the Galio, just cleans him up. The kill goes over to Gio. And it's a bit early to certify, or it's actually the right time to certify, but it's only 1 kill. And it's a call that's not cashed in, so I'm not gonna.
It's like the training before the certification.
Yeah.
He's not passing any tests.
If he kills both there, it's 100% certified. As speaking of killing.
Yeah. All right, Mike at the all out here. King and taking a bunch of damage from pretty much everything. He's able to land a stun and hop away, so he's just fine. By the way, for those of you who are curious, the last person to play Taric was Life, actually.
Whoa. I was right both times, but I was.
It was in the back of your brain somewhere. You're like, oh, you're going to tell me it's Life. Well, maybe you should have said it was Life. And that was on April 9th versus Homolife Esports, so it's only been 147 days.
Yeah, that's why we didn't get the graphic. It's just been too recent.
Yeah.
So common.
It's just every part of the year, champ.
Thanks for the stat on that one. mysterious prompter person.
Were there...
Not sure who it is today.
True. It's Yundo.
It's Yundo.
So, were there any 3-2 Nongshim Preds? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so either.
Because anyone who went for Nongshim was like, nah, they're a legend team. Like, they're going to win 3-2 or 3-1, or 3-1 or 3-0, right?
Yeah.
And then the Bro predictors were kind of all over the place, just depending on, you know, just thinking about what the form of Bro would actually be on the day.
What's wild to me is I kind of agreed with what Chronicler was saying earlier about how the momentum, or bromentum, so to speak, was so against Nongshim here. Nongshim coming from such a... When you imagine how Nongshim must be feeling coming into the series after an insane loss streak, looking for the first win over, by the way, third place in Rise Group in Bro. Not like the best Rise team, but the third best Rise team. And we talked about how confident they should feel coming into this, but like starting to lose momentum, starting to watch this series maybe potentially slip away. As we'll see if Kingen slips away before I finish this point. No, he's going to slip away from that engage.
Good timing for Lahens to walk by.
Gideon's cross map is going to be Krugs. But when you look at this draft for Nongshim in Game 5, you're like, where was this drafting all along? Like, if Gio can set up a Zeri comp with Taric and they know how to play out the 2v2 like this, why were we hard forcing the Yone comp in the last game as Gio's going to turn old?
Clearing the wave.
Yeah.
Zoning ult.
I mean, Gideon was nearby. Just probably could have cleared it with his Q, walked away. And I look at this and I think maybe Nongshim was trying to make the series interesting. Not in terms of like, oh, I don't actually want to close this one out fast, but maybe like not showcase everything they have, like this Taric draft.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why some of the drafting, especially in Game 4, was weird, but even the Game 1 and 2 draft felt like it was very risky. They have Prio in Game 1, Game 2, a bit more situational, but Bro have kind of had more classic drafts this entire series, with the exception of this game, where it's actually relatively even in terms of like meta champions played and the compositions that collide here, but it's only a 1.8k gold lead. Okay, this game is half Rise. It's half Rise. But
half Rise.
Yeah, it's also half Legend. So, and the Legend team is ahead, and we know what happens there. Calyx.
Yeah. What about him?
No, he's just he's great. Big contender.
Yeah, I like Calyx too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying he could be the one.
It's really great when you play Galio, who goes MR into mid-jungle AP. You're literally unkillable.
Yeah, and
like,
it's Rod
I don't
of
care
Ages.
how long that lane gets. It doesn't matter.
Rod of Ages Cassiopeia, who just doesn't hurt anyone for a while.
Yeah, and low-level Silas from the jungle. It's like, Galio
base
does
rush,
whatever he
you
wants.
know, and punch, Justice Punch, and
Hollowed Radiance now.
Yeah, that's really what I meant when I said Calyx, and then didn't finish my thought.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I think that the game state, though, very clearly favors Nongshim at this moment in time. 2,000 gold to lead. Azaria with Yuntals this early still has a call to cash in into. I mean, Cassante is trying to make something happen.
Yeah, the Redemption hit him, and Morgan went into tower range with that all out. That's going to be the slow. We got a Vi coming up here. Morgan's in a lot of trouble.
He did.
Yep, there's the ult to come out. And, yeah, he's even going to flash here. Gideon has his flash, just follow flashes, picks up the kill. Makes it look easy.
Well, it's going from bad to worse here for the Bros in this one. Is Krako also now going to come up here and try to hold this turret? Gets the Vi ult. And we'll, I guess, clear the wave. Not before plate goes down. As, I mean, Gio, he has ult. Like, this is really, really scary. If you get all in this situation, lose a lot of your health, get pushed out of lane, it says free reign on the map.
All right, trying to collapse here. We got Vi ult available, but there's no damage at the moment. Trying to stop this, but now even the Taric ult is going to come down, and they're invulnerable for just a little bit of time. No stun on Apollo. Kingen gets in from behind. We got another TP coming in from the Galio. And down will go Palu first. As in it is Calyx. He's looking to take down Krako. The Jhin positioning very safe, but the front line is just not there. And they just tank it all up. Morgan not going to be able to do anything, just has to run away.
I think if this is a little bit later in the game, Nongshim just get obliterated by Cassiopeia damage in that low range moment, but Unfortunately for them, it's still just a Rod of Ages and a tier in the inventory for Closer. He does as much as that little snake can in that fight, but not going to be able to be enough to win it out for them. As, yeah, this Redemption, the all-out into the turret. Morgan gets slowed. He almost Casantes his way out. And watch this shield in a second here when Kingen gets him. Gets ulted, and he's like, this auto should do the trick. Oof. Oof. And Gideon has to flash for it, so he still got Casanted, but ultimately dies. And then this fight here is very funky because they had to use the Taric ultimate early as the flanking TP comes through as well. And then, you know, in this very, very tight choke point here, Closer's going to get a lot of work done as Dragon is being taken alive. We have a fight.
Meanwhile, Lens taking a bunch of damage. That's not the target you want to go for. Nice exhaust, though, as Devi is in that backline. The smite down, and now we got Kingen about to hit Meganar. Krako trying to be real in this game. But as we can tell, he is not at this point in time. As the Wallop comes down, the Dazzle, just the everything thrown into him, and Kingen doesn't even have to gnar.
And that is that. 4 deaths on this Sylas. Trying to be real. And if I'm going to be real with Bro fans, might be time to start thinking about which lower bracket matchup you would prefer. And I'm telling you right now, it's not being historically and statistically speaking.
Yeah.
You've also beaten DK in a number of recent matches. This fight here, like, Gideon is on Dragon. I suppose maybe that's part of the assumptions here, but it's a Gnar who's going to be given enough time in this extended skirmish to get Mega, and actually almost is able to set up that Dazzle with the hop, gets Mega, and then Krako just can't get out anymore. They over-index into the play, and I think they're starting to realize, hey, their comp scale is way better than ours. We have to force something with our Sylas jungle. We have to take these skirmishes early while we can, while they're still playable. And they have backfired. Now feats of strength over to Nongshim, as this lower third will describe to you guys. And we have obtained them. And, you know, it's Infernal Soul again. No double dragon on either side, but 5,000 gold at 15 minutes. It's greater than any soul, or rather, any single dragon that Pro has a buy of time buy is going to feel. And also, like, time buy isn't really good for your comp in this situation.
No. Kane's just adding insult to injuries, letting all the minions die, denying Morgan. He's got Lehens around too. Saying, nah, I can just kill the turret later after the entire wave dies. Just feels like Nongshim, this looks very much like game 1, where it's incredibly one-sided super early on, and they just kind of took a break somewhere in the middle of the series. They're like, okay, we'll take our foot off the gas pedal. And then Bro take that chance, and they bring it back to 5, but now we're just like, oh yeah, this is kind of what we expected. Like, Nongshim are just the better team.
I mean, this comp has a little bit of cooking in it. Well, not that much, as here's
Alright, we're going in. There's just no hope for Hype. He has to run away. Paulo is just free food. As the wallets are gigantic, they're just going to use this to crash into mid. Don't even have to do anything pretty. All the other outer turrets are already dead.
Yeah, just going to be an ult here from Hype for wave clear. Can they punish him? Yeah, I don't need to be very cautious about trying to fight Bro, that is. Nongshim do decide to back away. I was scared that we were going to just see a big engage from Krako again. Like, Krako, I'm not sure in which scenario, like which ult is the best for him to steal, because obviously Gnar is an amazing target for the ultimate, but if you go in to this composition, try to find the angles, like who do you engage on? Do you go in as Sylas and try to catch this area? That'll never work. Do you end up getting like the front line with it? So then what do you steal? Do you steal the Taric ult? Who do you empower with that? Maybe Cassiopeia? I don't even know how that works. I've never seen Sylas hijack a Taric ultimate. But like, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be high value. And then if you steal the Galio ult to match rotations, that would be great, except we're not in a neutral game state where you can match rotations. You know, you can't follow the tempo of Nongshim right now, even if you steal that Galio ult away. Sylas is 1-4, Valdez.
Yeah. It's just...
He's not hurting anyone.
He's just not real. He's just not in this game. He's the same level as this top laner, which is kind of just explaining the whole state of the game. Actually, the fact that Morgan is on the same level as his jungle, who is 1-4. Every lane is winning extensively, except the mid lane, but Calyx is absolutely doing his job. This feels like the Cassio's going to take forever to do anything in these fights, especially against much more tanky targets.
Maybe if Bro can get a single Dragon Steal, I mean, even still, their wave clear isn't good enough to just stall this game out. Because Cassiopeia now has to be the main carry, even though she's 500 gold behind. That's the smallest deficit, and she has the highest chance to do real consistent damage, low-range damage into this comp later, maybe even somehow kill Jiu, shut down his mobility. I mean, I'm saying a lot of ifs and conditionals, but if you're a Bro fan hoping for a miracle here, I think it probably has to start with a big stall and time buy.
Yep, in goes Jiu. It's like, yeah, might as well. Here comes the turn, though. Baited on in, but now we got the redemption, we got the kill, we got the Taric ultimate. He is invulnerable, and he just flashes away. Rest of the team comes in, and the Vi goes extremely deep. Gideon looking to keep hype around. He doesn't have his flash, and the ult gets dodged as well, at least by Gideon. Going back in now is everybody, but he just flashes out. Does Closer.
Almost! They were so close to getting Jiu. They got his sums, but they didn't kill the Zeri. And the Zeri lives, and it's just so hard to lock this champion down when you get late into Fearless draft. Like, look at this. Jiu has no fear. It's like, all right, yeah, whatever. Redemption, by the way. Taric ult, by the way. Cleanse, by the way. Flashes over the wall here, which was a really nice engaging from Morgan there. But now he's just like, all right, there's nothing left in this. I can just walk forward and shoot them. And Closer nearly able to turn this one around. Look at how much damage does to King, and imagine he's got one extra item here. Imagine if this is 5 minutes later into the game, and he can do a little bit more, but I just don't know if in 5 minutes the base isn't going to be in tatters.
Yeah. Will the game still be going in 5 minutes? Game 1 was about 24.5 minutes. That was the fastest game here of the series. And Nongshim, it's almost like they're trying to beat their record in this game. Most damage dealt is once again Closer. Kind of reminds me of his Aurora game, although a lot fewer kills in this one. And the jungle gap is wide, as we have mentioned many a time. Helps that Gideon's been a part of 10 of 13 kills and has 6 of them.
Yeah.
So
if only the Vi was fed, you'd be like, oh, well, hold on, this is kind of playable, but yeah, everyone's fed.
Yeah.
Even the Galio's kind of like looking like a threat in this game.
Yeah, some burst damage, you know.
Closer is about to finish his rod. There it is. So that's going to be quite helpful. Just needs more time. Trying to fight this Otacon with no vision, I think, would be a fool's errand, but they're already so far behind in experience. I want to find some angle here on the flank.
Yeah, just baiting them in, and now King, he's got the wallop, he's got the dazzle.
Krako's got that Gnar. I mean, this was the theoretical I was talking about earlier. How does he use it? Who does he use it on? If he could use it on the whole team, that would be sick, Valdez, but I just don't think he's going to get even a single target, and they do agree with me that trying to contest this Otacon is just simply going to be a certain death. And instead, they'll opt to back away for a probable death with a defense and a scaling Cassiopeia. That's what they're going to try to bank their hopes on. The hopes of all Bro fans everywhere tonight.
Just wasn't meant to be this time around. The Bro tax came in, and then, you know, Silver Scrapes happened. Everybody was getting excited and forgot, I guess. And all of a sudden, Nongshim as well, they forgot how they played in games 1 and game 2, and they're like, oh yeah, we are just better than these guys. We can just beat them. And finally they remembered at the right time when it mattered most, as in they go once again. The Vi and the Taric, very nice. Synergy does come in, and Closer doesn't even get a chance to play the game. When you got wallets this large, you just don't really take damage. And in goes King, and he's looking for that extra kill. The boomerang not quite gonna do it. Krako trying to stun his ally. It's not quite gonna work.
Get that Jhin! Oh.
Oh, wrong team.
I mean, Closer he doesn't have budget for any more defensive items, man. He doesn't have a Zonias. He's just dead. Krako's got a Gnar here for some delay, excuse me, as he's gonna look for it.
All right, they're gonna look for it. They're gonna trying to clear out that wave. We got another wave coming in, but I think for Nongshim, you're up 12,000, but they still want to play it safe. They don't want to pull a DNF. As they say that, though, they just go right back in, and they get another kill.
All right, there's a bit of a Cassante flank here for Morgan. Kingen is probably dead.
All right, Kingen going in. He's not quite going to land it. Meanwhile, the front line will just be the sacrifice, it looks like, as Lehen's actually going to be able to flash out. And it looks like he gets away with the disengage.
If they chase too deep into this area, too, like, careful.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you kill, like, 1 or 2 members, and then the game just ends. They're buying time. As this engage on the closer here is phenomenal, because he has Seraphs, he has Rod of Ages. He just can't afford that. He can't put an arm guard in this build. Like, he doesn't have the money. And he definitely doesn't want to build one. Like, he wants to go more damage. He may be forced to build one in this game, but he's the perfect target. As Krako here, because he still has the hijack available, is able to buy some time here and help clear out this wave. Goes to the engage first, pulls 2 back and flashes out. Ton of damage is done actually by his Q there as well at the end. And then with the wave coming through here, but these low health bars, they decide to back out. Now, unfortunately, the miss here from Morgan is super unfortunate onto Kingen, but ultimately they still end up getting that kill onto Calyx, but it could have been 2. Apollo also escapes narrowly, which is, or sorry, Lehen's, excuse me, escapes narrowly, which is very funny.
Yeah.
And we go again on the siege. Baron
It's
isn't
still 12,000.
Yeah, no, it's big.
It's still 12,000. They didn't end the game. They're not going to beat their record from game 1, but it's still 12K. We're actually making it even larger here. And no turrets have been taken by Bro. They didn't get any grubs. They got 2 kills.
All right, Baron's up. And we are running towards it as Nongshim here. Krako trying to see if he can find a pocket of vision.
He's going to start it up. He's going to solo it. Steal it from right underneath their noses.
He got a flank angle. Like, he was able to sneak around them. If they start up the Baron and don't do their due diligence, and he is able to set up for a big flank ult, could actually change the course of this game. Again, 12,000 gold down. I mean, I'm saying a lot of hopeful things for Bro fans, but
it's a bit appropriate, but it's all we have now.
He's hanging out there with Pool Bay, man, and they're gonna maybe get it done. He's got the Scryers. He's got the Scryers. He sees where they're at.
All right, now they're gonna be like, huh? And he's just gonna end up joining the rest of the team. Has an angle. They're gonna try to turn onto the Galio and not even look for the Baron. Calyx gets the taunt. They can't even take him down. They're not even gonna get the Galio. And that's gonna be the end of this game, guys. 15K the difference. And Nongshim will be moving up to the winner's bracket here at Play-Ins. Bro, they're on their last legs, starting from after this Nexus explodes. It just wasn't meant to be. 22-2 in the kills. Nongshim were just the better team tonight.
Nongshim were the better team tonight. They get it done in 5. A messy series, to be sure. But ultimately, it is they who prevail. The Zeri composition comes online. And then that final attempt there, the flanking Silas, it almost works out. He gets the hijack on the Gnar, but the team can't follow up, and a huge taunt from Calyx comes through.